I tell this nigga he gonna come in talking. You gotta cut him off before he even start talking. Yeah.
Yo, how's it going? Welcome to Baba
What's
Sucia.
good with you? What's good? This guy's always in the studio. I know he got a part of some business, but he don't say much. Now with a podcast, we gonna hear what he gotta say, yo.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
But every time I do these interviews, I always start it off with like a simple question just to ask like the artist or the person or the guest who's on. I always ask them this, like, who is Treach?
Treacherous MC, yo. It's a little homie from East Orange, New Jersey. I got in a lot of trouble with my moms because she was like, "You're not out doing no talent shows. You're not rapping. What's a rapper?" Like, I know. She gave me, my mom's actually turned me on to rap with the Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight. So she didn't even know, but like I really was out there doing talent shows. That's where I met the likes of Queen Latifah. The Raleigh Racket Club, the Civic Center in East Orange, yo, on the border of East Orange and Newark. Used to be all the local talent shows, Club 88 on Evergreen. So, like, I was really pursuing a dream when it was only maybe 10 rappers in the whole world out at the time, you know.
I got you. But before we get to all that, all the crazy stuff and everything about your life, let's start off with the very, very beginning, because this is what I always do.
I plopped out that motherfucker. I was looking real nasty, yo. As soon as I came out that wet womb, I was not looking too good, yo. Till they clipped that cord. He said at the beginning, right? The beginning, yo. I might have been born in Timbo boots. You feel me? That's how much I was headed towards the direction of loving the culture.
Okay. So, where are you from originally?
East Orange, New Jersey. Born in Newark, raised in East Orange. Like a lot of people that grew up in Newark, like my mother, she went to West Side High. Newark is the biggest city in Jersey, but you know, it was real ghetto. So a lot of people moved out, especially after the riots in the 60s and stuff. So, but we moved out like when I was about 2 years old after she was married to East Orange. East Orange was a suburb of, you know, the surrounding area of Newark. Irvington was another suburb. So anybody getting out, a lot of families went to East Orange, Irvington, Orange, or the surrounding cities just out of Newark because it was wild for the night.
Okay, so you grew up in the side of East Orange.
Yeah,
correct?
down the hill, DTH. And down the hill and up the hill, like in any situation, you got to like in Patterson, up the hill, down the hill, ain't where you from is where you at. So your rivals is just people that's not from where you at, you know? So, but up the hill and down the hill, East Orange is like 3 square miles. So everybody, one way or the other, knew each other. With down the hill, like if you was on the north side, you would go like to Hart Middle School. If you was on the south side, I was on the south side, we went up to VLD. So VLD was actually up the hill. Middle school was down the hill. So down the hill was deep down there, but we had to travel. So I met so many people from up the hill. It wasn't never like a up the hill, down the hill. It was just
You were the one that could always. You were like a chameleon. You could adapt to either side.
I went to all different sides, up the hill, down the hill, the south side of East Orange, the north side of East Orange. And one thing that had me, like even Newark is a bordering town. Me and Redman actually really didn't like each other when we was coming up just because we was from 2 different cities a block away.
So how was
he was
that?
in Newark, East Orange.
So
we ended up seeing each other like in a little park, Lincoln Park, like right on the corner of Central Avenue, Lincoln School. And we was the little ones that we couldn't even play ball. They wouldn't never pick us. So we just used to hang out with each other when we was little.
And then got fed up.
Yeah, and just steal the ball and go to the other court way over there. So it just me, you know. So we had to just connect just by being 2 little homies that was just out there. We was from different cities, but it ain't matter after a minute. We was like, well, we cool.
Okay, so at that time, how was it growing up during that time frame? During like the time when people were leaving, like because of the riots and all that.
Nah, it's like Newark was off the hook always. East Orange was like, it was beautiful growing up. Now, around the corner from me was Little City Projects, because Zori Kijiji. It was projects, but it still wasn't like Newark.
Okay.
Like Newark was like the Compton of, it was like one of the spots where if you ain't know somebody to go. But where VLD was, it was like on the back end, South Orange Ave, that's Hooterville and all that. Like, the style back then was wearing your Adidas and Pumas with no laces on. They was easy to step out of if you went to the wrong spot. So in order not to get robbed, they'd be like, what you doing right here, little? I said, I rhyme. I had to kick some bars. Every spot I went to, every different block that they ain't know me. And that prevented me from getting robbed and was actually opening the door for me knowing so many different people that I didn't grow up with or wasn't my family through the hip hop culture. So it was like a bulletproof vest for me. If I came with that heat, I ain't get robbed.
So basically, that's around the time when like Tiny T was around. Basically, right?
Yeah. So I was born in 1970. So around the time I was doing all that, I was like early teens, 11, 12, 13, 14, middle school, 14. I mean, high school start 14.
So how was like middle school in that time?
Middle school was VLD. Middle school actually was the first time I saw like a real live aggravated assault. It was one of the little homies in school threw a chair in our industrial class and hit the teacher, split his head open, blah, 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 blah. And the first time ever I was in a stolen car, I didn't even know it was a stolen car. I should have known though, because when I was sitting in there after on lunch break, homie Antonio, Antonio, homie, told me to get in that car. I knew it was stolen, something was wrong when he said duck. So I ducked over like this, and I seen a screwdriver in the key ignition. I said, okay, I know why I'm done. As soon as the cops went, I said, see you later, Antonio. All that is right back in class. I said, I'm not, no. I'm a rapper. I got different dreams. It's not the youth house. That's where the youth detention center was, the youth house. No.
But so growing up in the 80s, how was that like?
Well, the 80s, by then, I was like 10, 11, 12. That was like...
It's kind of like the age where you start seeing things.
No, the 82, when I was 12, that was like around the time when Sugar Hill Gang Rapper Delight came out. So when I heard a rap record, it was over for me. I was like, yo, what is... Hold on. Only other people I seen like rapping was like Muhammad Ali, that rhymed and with words and Dolomite and like the different movies from back in the day. So I was like, yo, first of all, that's just great swag back to me. That was like, yo, you rhyme with your words. And then with, the inception of hip hop, they put it on beats. Oh, it was over. I said, I'm gonna be part of it. I tried breakdancing, but I almost broke a lot of shit. Yeah. Like my coordination wasn't having me doing spins, flips. I was on cardboard. That wasn't for me. Graffiti, I'm pretty good with graffiti and tagging, but I was better as a rapper. Okay. Definitely.
So I'm guessing, since your mom was a nurse, she was very highly educated and stuff. So she probably had you since you like music and stuff. So were you like really into reading at a young age? Did she have you like reading and stuff and writing and all that?
No, it was just it was good to the point with me. My mother would see my report card and knew I was doing what I had to do. We always had a library card, always boom. But a great thing like around that era, you had like Word Up magazine, Rap Master, like stuff that interests you besides your homework, stuff you had to study, like you reading on the culture of hip hop. You feel me? And past that, it was like, Source magazine and Vibe. But a lot of writers love reading because they got to read their rhymes back. They got to know how to get that down. And then, it was the era too where a lot of MCs didn't write their lyrics down and put it down. Some were dope and some were not.
That's how it be sometimes.
Yeah, though, everybody had that same talent, but the culture had you do it your way.
Okay. So you were MCing your whole way through. So then take me to your teenage years now that you're doing all the MCing and now you're progressing and getting better and better and better.
What it took me out of, my mom's had me like, I wish I would have stayed in, like I was.
Yo, you guys tired of smoking za or smoking cannabis from the dispensary and getting tired of paying this boatload of prices and the weed ain't even that good? It tastes like an old gym, that smells like water, dank water, like when you have a flood. Yeah, if you don't want your weed to smell like that no more and you want some real cannabis weed, talking about real cannabis that's fire, it's taking all over New Jersey, man. You need to get right and call my man NJ Transit. As you can see in this video right here, you catch me right here. Look at my face. Just look at my face and look how happy I look. Have you ever seen somebody be so happy smoking za? You really don't be smoking za and be that happy when you get it from a dispensary. Because then you think about it, you're like, damn, I'm giving the man for no reason. You're giving the man hella money. And now you're sitting here like, damn, I could have been helping out a local business. Because the local business always got the za. You know that your local guy always had the za. Ain't that local typical guy. This is NJ Transit. NJ Transit is a different type of za, different type of buzz. You know what I mean? Cares for the people. So when you hit the za, that this shit is always going to be delicious. Because when you smoke this za, the za will have you right. NJ Transit, best za in the world. Having a bad day at work? Get yourself some NJ Transit. Your mama kick you out the crib? You should move the fuck out. Go to be living at your mama's crib. Your house is about to get foreclosure? Get yourself some NJ Transit and get your shit together. But get yourself some NJ Transit. NJ Transit is the way to go. Always smoke responsible. And NJ Transit, you did your thing.
Like my mom's always had like the Boy Scouts, guitar, music, sports, baseball, football. I wasn't ever good at basketball, so I didn't even want to do that. And my mom's let me do what I wanted to do as far as like what do you like, and she'll put me in there. So when hip hop came, the sports dreams was gone for me. It was like I really knew. And my first MC name was Tiny T Treachery, double T Treachery, tiny for a reason. I was little as I was like it wasn't too much sports I was going to be doing, especially basketball, you know. So that was gone. Baseball, I still was tiny. In football, I was real good in Pee Wee. Shout out to the EO Rams, Oval Park Rams. I played for the Elmwood Park Oilers because I was up the hill with the school. But sports wasn't for me. Rap game came into it, and then once I started like having little jobs like stuff, like summer program jobs, all that, I was like a dietary aide in East Orange General Hospital. I lied about my age actually when I was 16 to work at a warehouse when they was on strike. Shout out, rest in peace to Uncle Bobby, took me to Grand Union Warehouse in East Rutherford. So when I was working there, I'm like, yo, I like this, but I gotta pay for studio time, and you know that got me more into like the business sense of investing in yourself. So yeah.
And then from there, from like high school and all that, who told you to start taking music serious? Or who was the friend, or what situation in life made you be like, yo, fuck this, I'm gonna take this shit serious?
Nah, I really was serious about it like all before. It was different groups I was with. Said G and Ice in Little City Projects. We was a group, girl named KK. We was called the Leather 2. Like this was back in the days. Like I took it seriously, but you know, when Naughty by Nature first was New Style, we went to high school together. It was after middle school and the high school. That's when me, K, and Vin, we got together. He was a beatbox. K was a DJ. He knew K and me, so he got all of us together. I was on Grove Street by the border of Newark over here. Like Reggie lived on, Redman lived on 12th. Do It All, Lords of the Underground, and they lived off South Orange Ave. Like all of us was like an area, but where K lived was on 18th Street under the bridge, like a block and a half from the projects, Little City in Missouri. So that was like walking distance to where I was on South Grove. So I used to walk through there after Vin was like, yo, this DJ need to come down under the bridge, and we, you know, had some sessions. So that started the New Style on to where it got like, out of all the other groups I was with, I'm like, this group here, we mesh. So we gonna go full body with it. So that was like ninth grade, 10th grade.
10th grade, that was the time frame?
That was like 82.
Okay, and then from there, you started doing shows and talent shows and things of that nature?
All over. Especially in the area of East Orange, we were winning all of those they used to say we cheated too because we used to just bring like roll 30, 40, 50 deep. So the crowd, they was in there with us. You feel me? So it was like
It was like, yo, they
crowd
cheating.
participation decides who wins. So then they start having judges. So we started winning with the judges too. So it was like, yo, we got something here.
And from the talent shows, I'm guessing that's how you started making connections to other people and meeting labels and stuff.
Yeah.
And how did you get like in contact with like Sugar Hill and all that?
Nah, first, like we did that basically first because, you know, Sugar Hill was like, you knew Sugar Hill was a label, like a real label. So you wanted to get on there. So we basically did the dumb thing. We signed with them without even reading the contract. No, we gonna sign it. You feel me? So long story short, we got signed to them. It was a record, a shelf sitter. Like nobody knew about it. Basically could have been a write-off for them. But we actually left and got with Flavor Unit after that. So while we was New Style, we had auditioned for Flavor Unit. And our thing was we found out beforehand the contract we had on Sugar Hill subsidiary Born on Me was like a lifetime contract. So we was like, oh, we fucked up.
Yeah.
But what we gotta do now, we gotta go get another deal. Hopefully we get large to the point where we could pay off this other label and get off, which we ended up doing, going through Flavor Unit and then Warner Brothers. But Warner Brothers put us on their subsidiary label, Tommy Boy. And that was
Yeah. I have a connection with Tommy Boy. I actually know him. I met him a long time. Tom Silverman? Yeah. He always wears like his little fedoras and shit. Yeah.
Shout out to Tom.
Yeah, man.
Monica Lynch over there.
Yeah, I met Tom. I met him a while back. I was doing
Charles Warren. Yeah. Charles Mixon, Dixon, family over there, Big Scoop. He was working for the label as well over there. And you see how he went and blew his career up. So shout out to the homie Coolio, rest in peace. Rest in Gangsta Paradise. He was on the label with us.
How was it, like, being around him?
Man, it was...
He was a legend and stuff. How was that?
It was the same thing. They were saying, like, East Coast, West Coast beef. They don't know. I rolled Pac, Coolio, you know what I mean? Snoop, Suge. Like, it wasn't no East Coast, West Coast
It was
beef.
just East Coast, West Coast beef on paper.
It was just certain rappers that went after certain rappers. Like, it was the battle game back in the days. Like, we grew up off of seeing, like, Kool Mo D and LL go at it, and MC Shan and KRS-One, and, like, it was, like, a part of the rap game. It just got more, I guess, personal when they started labeling it like it was a coast against a coast instead of one rapper going after another rapper.
Mm-hmm. You know? So, now that we're talking about that topic, like Pac and the East Coast and West Coast, how was it during that time, like, just being around that energy of Pac? Because a lot of people, like, because I watch, like, a lot of interviews and a lot of people speak of Pac, like, his energy was it was always very, like, people were always very, like, they speak very well and very highly of Pac, you know, but lately it's been, like, a thing where, like, people are now starting to talk kind of down about him in a way. How do you feel about that?
Anybody's gonna talk about somebody that can't defend themselves, that's some sucker shit, for one. You feel me? And you wasn't in that era or time to really know what's going on. Like they said, people spoke so highly about him until he started speaking, you know, like straight without no filter, the way he felt, especially after he got shot. He felt like a lot of people should have let him know what happened around there. Biggie was one and all the rest of them, even if they knew about it or not. It's like it's a different scenario. When you get hit up and you rolling with homies, you want to know, and you in around their area or in their session, you want to know what the fuck went on. So it was more or less a lot of people with the label and everything else wanted to keep Pac and Big apart when they really should have had them sit down. And then they could have...
Do you feel like if they would have sat down, a lot of things would have...
it would have got to an understanding because Pac would have seen things. But, I mean, you got to realize, too, man, right then, we was in our mid-20s. How many 20-year-old little homies right now you can really talk to? Unless they get their mind set on somebody disrespected or this or another. We had different codes and rules like on the streets. You know what I mean? Like in the hoods and everything else, like you gotta go through the big homies and everything else. It's like nowadays it's a lot different because a lot of big homies is dead or locked up forever. So the ones who's running the streets is the younger homies, you know, the youth them. So it's like just we was this. If it was gonna pop off, we'll have things pop off instead of sit down. Back then, at that young age, we weren't mature enough to master the difference between knowing the streets and the industry and how you got to separate them, or you'll lose it all.
Yeah. So you must have been at that time. You were young as hell at that time watching that happen.
We was
reckless. You were in your early 20s. So when
straight off the block too.
Basically,
you feel me? We didn't get to the point after the talent shows and all the rest of that, and the little jobs you had, and you don't have them no more because you get older, and then the jobs wasn't out there. We was on the motherfucking block. We had one of the biggest drug blocks in Illtown, East Orange, 18th Street. You feel me? So it wasn't a game. So just the discipline wasn't there, just coming straight off the streets into the industry like now. Like you see those that's like coming straight off the streets into the industry, a lot of them don't get it. Like you under a straight magnifying glass and everything you do, especially more so now because there's cameras everywhere, social media, is everybody filming. It's like, boom, you can't shit or fart in the wrong direction of the wind before it hit back and everybody know about it. You know, so back then it was more of a peaceful way to be ignorant, if you would say that. But now it's like you can't. But we were young and dumb, and fresh off the streets and reckless.
But questions that I got. So that whole beef went on and all that. Things of that nature happen, but because every time they always talk about Pac or Biggie, it's always like kind of like in a negative light. What was one of the positive things that you saw while you was
Pac
working?
introduced me to Biggie from the door, so Biggie was my man. You know what I mean? I wish that it was, you know, a time where I could get them together and sit down and everything else. It was like, even if you look at like Hip Hop Parade video, right? Eazy-E was in that video. If you look at Straight Outta Compton movie, he was on the East Coast and met up with Cube, like to, boom, I was with Eazy. You feel me? You know what I mean? Suge came out here one time because he wanted to do something, and he like had a problem with Rough Riders. I'm like, nah, them my homies. Y'all gonna sit down, and we met over in Jersey. Everybody sat down. So I wish that Pac and Big would have had that chance to sit down. It just didn't happen because everybody was so busy at that point, and it was like everybody was separated as far as Pac and Big. Like, would no promoters book them in the same cities or nothing at the same time, you know? But with me, I was like overseas and everything else. So the time to really, I wish we would have had time to really had them sit down, because other than that, wasn't nobody who had that power to sit them down to really resolve that shit.
All right. So what opportunities were you able to present themselves when you were with like Pac and all that and working with him and things of that nature?
Oh no, I mean like when we first came, so you gotta realize Digital Underground was on Tommy Boy too.
Yeah.
So we was on same type tours. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Yeah.
You understand? So rest in peace to original Shock G, you know.
Oh man.
So we were always together. And me and Pac actually met originally on, it was a Public Enemy, Queen Latifah, Digital Underground, Heavy D tour.
Yeah, we were roadies, right?
Yeah, you know. So we met like through just the whole circle and cipher.
Damn, yo, they used to make y'all go through like the real, like, yo, y'all had to go work. Like y'all was in the label, but they was like, nah, y'all gonna be roadies. Man, damn, they really put y'all through like basically interns in a way.
Yeah, with the DM, we still got paid to be out there, but we were fulfilling our dreams by being on stage
And
with a
performing.
microphone and performing
Yeah.
with our peoples, they were famous, before us, before anybody knew us. It was like, what? Queen Latifah, Digital Underground, what? We on stage.
That's some legendary.
Me and Pop
That's
was
some
like,
stage, bro. That's a
we was
legendary
talking
shit.
every day, like, yo, you see what we got here, like what we blessed with. We like, yo, this is heaven.
Was he very like theatrical and stuff, like as a person?
Yeah, man. Pop
You know
could
he
come
went
in
to
the
acting
room
school and shit,
right
so.
now, like VS come in here, yo, and talk and the energy, yeah, like that energy, just that bubbly, like you love that it brings you up. It's like if you down, you gotta laugh, you be like, yo, you feel like, yo, he gonna come in, whether he happy or not, you gonna feel what he talking about because he gonna let it be known what's going on. But you gotta realize too, he was a deep dude. He was a baby Black Panther. Like his mother, we was talking about reading. If Pac ain't do something, like ain't get the right grade or mess up, like his moms will have him read the whole newspaper front to back and then do an essay on every article he read. Type.
That's
so
tough.
he was developed. He was smart. It was nothing dumb about him. Even when we was out there being ignorant, he was.
He knew how to play his part.
Man, he was smart. He was sharp as a tack. Facts.
Yeah, they said a lot of people say he was really good at like acting and stuff. Like he was great at it. That sometimes will get him in trouble in real life.
I
They
mean,
would say.
the thing is, we were all great actors because we would act like we wasn't doing shit in front of police and we was dirty as fuck. You feel me? Like, but he wasn't acting no different way. Like the act is to act like you really ain't mad at the world and what's going on and what you got to live through and all the brutality and all the shit. You acting every day. So when you get in front of the screen or if you are shown in public and somebody snap, they be like, oh, he Bishop. Nah, he was Tupac, nigga. He was Tupac before Bishop. You feel me? He brought Bishop to life because Bishop was written on a piece of paper as a script, but couldn't nobody bring that character to him. He knew that life. He knew people like that and everything else, but he was a smart motherfucker, yo. But when you see us out there at that age before we got a chance to mature and really know the cameras is all over watching us even then, we were more ignorant than we was focused.
But let's get back to the music side of things now. Let's go back to that because I didn't forget about that. So you dropped OPP. How was that, man, when you first dropped that? And how did you guys go about it, making that?
I mean, it was crazy because we were jokers. Like, I remember Moo Brown. He's on.
And also, time out, that was also Jackson's song you guys said. Did they have some sort of beef with you guys because of that too? That's another question I got.
Oh, Jackson 5?
Yeah.
Nah, homie, by the time the 90s came out, you cleared your samples.
But you know how people be. People be like, yo, like, I can't believe. You know how people be back in the days. They're like, they'll be like,
we
nah, y'all
actually-
mixing that with
we
hip hop
actually-
or whatever. 'Cause you know how they were back then.
See, the great thing nowadays is everything is Googleable. So you could go back and look at Heavy D again. Shout out Heavy D. Michael Jackson had a video called Jam. And Michael Jordan was in it. Heavy D was in it. And they invited us to the set. So Naughty came like on the set and we actually met Michael Jackson for the first time.
And how was that?
That song. You feel
I
me?
love it.
Y'all was a bomb. Y'all, whatever the lingo was, he said, I think he even cursed too. I ain't gonna put him out there, but I think he was like, that's the shit. He came, Mike ain't come, he came from like Indiana. Like he came from the streets when he was talking to us. You like, yo, I can't believe Mike is sitting here. Bubbles was there, the monkey. He came dressed better than all of us. The limo with hoes. Nigga, I'm like, yo, nigga, I want to be like Bubbles. Fuck that. You feel me? So, but when we came there, we found out like he really heard the song, know the song, singing the lyrics, and like, wow. But like I said, we had to clear that, and Benny Medina actually signed us to Warner Brothers, and they didn't know what to do with hip hop, so they put us on Tommy Boy. But we had a Warner Brothers contract under, so the samples was cleared and all that. You ain't going up in there with a Jackson 5 sample without knowing your ass getting sued.
Exactly. That's all I was asking.
So
I was like,
I knew where you was getting at. Yeah, we cleared all those samples, boy. It was no problem at all.
man, but how was that? Like once that album came out, how was like the fame and
No,
all
actually,
that? And
it was like on the contract, it was like, y'all not getting no producing, publishing off of this. You feel me? You could pay for it. After 30 years, you'll get it. So we just got like publishing back. And we ain't care because we had writers.
Yeah, so that's
And we was going to tour for, we was like, yo, this song right here is going to be a smash.
so y'all
Like,
knew
we
I
could
was going
tour, like they could have all that writers, producing and publishing. We don't care. we gonna eat off of this for decades to come, you know.
That shit's dope as hell, man. That's a dope ass. Whew.
Facts.
Damn, man. Whew. Damn. But
Facts.
after that, then you guys topped it off with Hip Hop Parade.
They because you know back then it was a thing that was called like one hit wonders. So they wanted to see who would be a one hit wonder, and they'll label every artist that, you know what I mean, until you come back again. So OPP was such of a big record, we were definitely in that category. Like they can't come back again and top it at all. Boom. So 2 years later, because we was on tour for 2 years after OPP came out and the album came. 2 years later, we came out with the album 1993, and Hip Hop Parade was the first single, and it was a bigger record than OPP.
How was the tour life? How was that?
Oh man, I'm surprised I ain't got no road babies. Homie, OPP, they used to say them boys mean that. What? I'm out the hood, homie, nigga. I ain't even go to my own prom, yo. Ain't nobody want to date this dirty nigga with braids. And it's like, man, what? He just rap. I mean, he good, but nah. Oh, yeah, I took advantage of that situation.
This
Yeah.
man.
Facts,
man.
boy.
But then when you dropped, I'm guessing when you dropped the next album, they were just that shit just.
Yeah. I mean, what was so ill is I actually read for the role of Bishop in the movie Juice. Pac got it. You know, we was actually going to read it together. So he got that and got me in the movie. The funny thing is, Uptown Anthem was on our first album, and we actually did that for the soundtrack of Juice. So while OPP was bubbling and just coming out, that came out. And like the same time, Uptown Anthem came out before the movie came out. So everybody knew us as OPP and Uptown Anthem before even Hip Hop Parade. So we already had 2 back-to-back hits like at the same time. So One Hit Wonder was over. And our second single off of the first album was Ghetto Bastard. So when we put that out, that was like 3 singles rocking back-to-back at the same time. It was like, oh, these... But they not gonna come with this next album. They can't beat this first one. And then we knocked them in the head with a hip hop anthem. 50th anniversary now. Bow. Shout out to hip hop. Life.
It's the most played song, right?
Like
all
at all the
sporting events,
the Olympics, most of the Olympics, like of all,
Yeah, man, that's one of the most popular songs right now. I was listening to that on the way over here too.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Played it for my dad. I said, "Yo, Dad, you know who this guy is?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes,
"Yeah." He said, "Do you know who this guy
is?" I was like,
is?
"Yeah." He looked at me. He goes, "You know who this is?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm gonna go talk to him tomorrow, man.
What you talking about? Do I know?
My dad, he goes, "Yeah, I know who that is." He's like, "I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him tomorrow." And he was like, "Oh shit, for real?" He got real hyped at home and shit. I was like, "I told you."
That's my guy. What's up, pops? This is what we do.
But I have another question too, man. For Wickedest Man Alive.
The wickedest man, the wickedest man, the wickedest man, the wickedest man, the wickedest man is alive.
So the man playing the sax, was that like a sample or was that like for real?
Nah, KG, he was a brilliant producer. He didn't only sample, he would bring people in. But, you know, a great thing of that era as well, you had album sleeves and everything else. So they well, certain times they had produced by, but they had at the bottom like clarinet by, trumpet by, bass by, drums by, because K.
Yo, you guys tired of smoking za or smoking cannabis from the dispensary and getting tired of paying this boatload of prices and the weed ain't even that good? It tastes like an old gym that smells like water, dank water, like when you have a flood. Yeah, if you don't want your weed to smell like that no more and you want some real cannabis weed, talking about real cannabis that's fire, it's taking all over New Jersey, man. You need to get right and call my man NJ Transit. As you can see in this video right here, you catch me right here. Look at my face. Just look at my face and look how happy I look. Have you ever seen somebody be so happy smoking za? You really don't be smoking za and be that happy when you get it from a dispensary, because then you think about it, you're like, damn, I'm giving the man for no reason. You're giving the man hella money, and now you're sitting here like, damn, I could have been helping out a local business, because the local business always got the za. You know that your local guy always had the za. Ain't that local typical guy. This is NJ Transit. NJ Transit is a different type of za, different type of buzz. You know what I mean? Cares for the people. So when you hit the za, that this shit is always gonna be delicious. Because when you smoke this za, the za will have you right. NJ Transit, best za in the world. Having a bad day at work? Get yourself some NJ Transit. Your mama kick you out the crib? You should move the fuck out. Go to be living at your mama's crib. Your house is about to get foreclosure? Get yourself some NJ Transit and get your shit together. But get yourself some NJ Transit. NJ Transit is the way to go. Always smoke responsibly. And NJ Transit, you did your thing.
Started out as a producer who sampled, but then evolved into a producer that'll come in with background singers and bow and different people playing instruments. So we always seen them. I don't know who they all are, but I know definitely it was live, and that was a difference in a lot of tracks. People used to listen to Dre's tracks and like, how does he get his sounds like this? Dre was ahead of his time. He was having live players play over top of the tracks with the samples and with his special way of doing things. So yeah, K definitely was on that level.
Mm-hmm. All right. So another question I have is, you did a little bit of acting.
A little bit.
How was it acting with Steven Seagal, man? Yo, that was what I want to ask you, man. Did he ever come close to punching you in the face like everybody he always be playing around with?
Nah, I always do these crazy stunt scenes in front of these big motherfuckers, yo. I know how to stay the fuck away from that reach. Nigga, I'm on some Muhammad Ali, nigga. You ain't, nigga. And the camera's just right there. I'm like, how far? Let me see your reach, Steve. Big long ass arm come out there. I say, cool. So put my tape mark right there. Go ahead, throw that. He a ninja. He'll go to grapple. No. Hey, get my double in here. Director. My motherfucking Steve over here seeing some problems with somebody. Yeah, some problem with a nigga somewhere, yo. Get my double up. All right. You think it was me? I ain't getting hit with one of them things. Hell to the no. Mm-hmm. I just look out for Lord of the Streets is out now on Tubi. Anderson Silva. This motherfucker goddamn Rampage. This motherfucker, he really hit me in this movie too. Fucking big unorthodox ass.
You seen him break a door down?
Yeah, this motherfucker just break down doors, nigga. But it was lucky because when you acting, you gotta if somebody's swinging, you gotta go with it. Lucky I went with it because it just skipped me. Because his big ass nigga, I'd have been on TMZ on a stretcher.
But how is it working with some of these athletes?
It was amazing, homie. Like, you don't know, like, you working with Steven Seagal. I'm watching from his skinny days when that nigga was like, yo,
my build.
Yeah, yo, Bill. With the ponytail, all that. My mother's super fan of him. I'm like, yo, mom doing the movie. She said, get the fuck out of here. You ain't gonna say I'm lying, man. I told you I was a rapper too, didn't I? I told you I'm here. I'm with. She said, "What the day you died?" That was the movie. That's
man.
Guy. Yeah. And I'll go into his trailer. This fool is in there with incense and motherfucking guitar. He was like, I'm like, what the? Yo, I'm talking about that. He's a different level of talent.
Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. He looked like he got Paul Bunyan arms too. Like he looked like a big ass dude.
Nah, he's huge.
But
he's a ninja.
So I got another question for you. How do you feel about hip hop in New Jersey?
No, I just feel like hip hop in New Jersey. I always felt like don't hip hop artists in New Jersey don't support each other as much.
I feel like we blackball each other for some strange reason.
They'll go and deal with the hottest ones from the West Coast, hottest ones from New York, hottest boom, boom, boom. But Jersey, if you look at Jersey, the state of New Jersey, and we always go into it with my homies from South Jersey and everything else because it was always like a up the hill, down the hill, back. North Jersey is North Jersey, South Jersey, South Jersey. I said, look at all my Jersey tats. Look at my state tat, everything else. I said, is my shit cut off at the half? Is it just North Jersey on my shit? Is this just half of Jersey? Nah. I'm rep the whole fucking state of Jersey, and if you see how big Jersey is, if everybody supported in Jersey, not even just the rappers, but just the fans,
in general,
everybody would come out and be platinum.
And that's crazy too. I say the same thing every time. We say it every time.
Everybody supports their own shit. Every state except Jersey, like.
Even though like Philly hates a lot, they always say that Philly hates a lot on their rappers. They still support though. Here it's really like that. You're not lying about that because it's a lot of things too. Like it's very hard.
Is one city in Pennsylvania. It's not bigger than the whole state of Jersey, but they support each other.
Exactly. Like you could talk about like even like SZA and stuff like that. Like you don't hear her like ever repping Jersey. Like you only really hear like a selective few people. Unless it's like somebody from like the past or somebody like who just came out, they'll start repping it and then they'll kind of like die off.
But our Jersey artists, they
do make it though.
They support Jersey. They rep Jersey. Put it like that. It's never a case where they ain't like, they rep Jersey. It's just us as artists, like more of, you see how we jumped at the chance to be with Flavor Unit. We could have went to New York, get signed with some, but our shit was like, we coming out under Jersey umbrella. You feel me?
So it would make no sense to go elsewhere.
On nobody. Yeah. We love everybody, but we gonna go hard for Jersey.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. That's how I always rep Jersey. Whenever I do this whole podcast, I always be like, yeah, we based out of Jersey. Like,
yeah,
man. So, all right. So now that we're getting close towards the end of the podcast, I always ask this too. Like, who are your top 5 rappers, dead or alive, that you like?
I said it before, my homie Math Hoffa shit. I think that's one of the most disrespectful questions. Just because it's 2023 now and 50 years later, it's like I couldn't respectfully name 5. It's like 55. You feel me? And I would take it like 10 with each era of 50 years that came out from the 70s to now.
Goddamn.
You feel me? Like, to be respectfully, I could go, and was never really named ever is like the female rappers. Like, never in the list. From Queen Latifah, MC Light, to Yo-Yo, to Rage, to, you feel what I'm saying, to Boss, to Trina, to I'm talking about lists from all Shadi, from, I'm talking about from Nikki D to Antoinette to Sweet Tea. So, like, no females ever is mentioned. How disrespectful was that? And you got to name 5? So I just named like a gang of females now. Now everything else, I was like a student of Run DMC, KRS-One, Slick Rick, Kool Mo D, Treacherous 3, Stetson Sonic, like groups that, that's in there, Daddy-O, Fuquan on them. Boom. Crash Crew, Cold Crush. You feel what I'm saying? I came up, I was mini all of them, Cool G Raps. You understand? LL Cool J. Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's go. Back when it was NWA, it was Too Short, it was West, it was Ghetto Boys, it was, those that was coming before us, like, it was like majors that was like East Coast or West Coast. Then we could go states to cities, Midwest, and then it's like, I love the culture. It's so many, and then you got one of my favorite, Eminem's and the, like Kane. You got MC Searchers and the Fat Boys and the, yo, are you serious? Heckling Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and
Ice-T?
Ice-T is already, he's come on. That's one of my besties. I mentioned Eminem last too. I didn't want to be like, this is biased combo. He just mentioned all my homies, already know. You see these plaques up in here. I'm like, yeah, they waiting for me to say iceberg. They already know how it is. Look at the lab, homie. Look at the lab, homie.
But nah, so you got any shows or anything going on?
Yeah, always, man.
Oh, wait, before I forget, yo, you know what? I saw you one time. I saw you at the House of Blues. You was opening up for the late DMX. Because he was taking dumb long. He didn't get to the show till like later on that night. See, now I remember right now.
I'm like, yo, I'm on the
I remember that.
You're like, Treach, hold him down. I'm on my way. I'll be there in an hour. I'm like, homie, you supposed to be here an hour ago. I ain't coming, Treach. Tell him I'm here. I'm like, I'm talking to him. He's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I'm like,
he really was.
Get your ass down here.
He's not lying.
When he came in, there was no more booze. Where my dogs? I'm like, here, nigga, take the mic.
He's not lying.
He tore the building down.
He's not lying. No, he's not. He literally had him on the phone. I was sitting there while I was watching from the stage. I was like,
X, they don't want to hear this. Get down. He's like, Treach, you got me. I'm on the way.
And he came out.
Said X is on. They boo.
As soon as he came out, he looked at the women and was like, yo, you would have been pregnant.
It was like
pregnant.
Out. The whole crowd, they fixed their mouths. They was giving me all types of apologies. You feel me?
But yeah, so you got any shows coming up? My bad, interrupting you.
Yeah. You could go to Universal Attractions. They're my agent, so they got all the shows that's going on. Right now, there would have been a lot more shows, but I'm on this New Jack City Live tour right now, cross country, the play. So we do about 5 to 7 shows a week. Come home a week, then back out. So we got another 3 months of that. Had 2 months beforehand, hit the East Coast. So now we just came back from Houston and LA. So now we're going back a couple of spots on the West Coast and then heading back toward the Midwest. We got Dallas this weekend coming up. Well, I don't know when y'all going to hear this. Chicago, St. Louis, North Carolina, I think Virginia. We did DC and all that, and Philly and all that. Shout out.
Love DC.
To all the sold out spots, which was all of them. Be More everywhere. Off the Heezy, the District. Joe, we was down in DC. Yeah, Brooklyn. Love y'all, Brooklyn. We coming back. Because I had a problem. I said, we ain't hit Jersey, so we coming back to NJ Pack.
Let me know.
Yeah,
we'll pull up in there. We'll pull up in there.
We're going to have y'all come.
We'll pull up in there, you know.
We had to come back to Jersey.
Yeah, man.
NJ Pizzak.
But yeah, man. Before we end this, we have a gift for you. We want to give to you. If one of you guys want to get the gift. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Right there. The Moet, right there. No.
I ain't used to get
right there, the Moet, right there, yo.
Oh, shit.
Yo.
Boy.
Yeah, man, we want to give you this, man.
Love, boy. Look at that. See, look, I'm the type nigga that open it now. Y'all got cups? All right, now, hold. Jamming this camera, yo. I'm from a different... You see this right here? We ain't gonna leave this here. I got about 5, 6, 7 homies in here. We gonna handle this right now.
Yep. We just want to give it out, but now we're coming out to an end. It was a pleasure having you on the podcast, having a legend. Yo, fucking legend here. On this podcast.
Get at me at IG on Treach Tribe at Treach Tribe. You see that?
Woo-hoo.
Know what you're doing. You feel what I'm saying? Not a sud to fall on the flizzor, because this is how we do it. Get them cuts out here. We doing this. Giving them podcast.
Yeah, man.
Where can we find this interview? Let them know.
You can find this interview on Baba Sucia, our YouTube channel, our Spotify. You guys can like and subscribe. Yo, ya tú sabes.
You heard that?
Ya tú sabes. Yo, Baba Sucia, and we out.
Peace.
Nos vemos.
All right, well.